everyone, you're welcome once again to my YouTube channel. And today we are looking at one of Ghana's most interesting ventures when it comes to agriculture. And this is no other than the grass cutter industry. We are going to look at this with the help of Achito Farms here in Somania. We are going to look at some of the issues with this venture, some of the ways of ensuring that you reap your optimum best when it comes to grass cutter farming. Do stay with us. You're welcome to Agri-Connect. Can you please introduce yourself to my viewers?
Well, I'm Achito, as you really mentioned. That's the name of the farm, a registered farm in Ghana.
Okay.
That was last year, 2022. My name is Donati. Well, I started this farm as far back to, let me say, 98.
Oh, wow.
1998. I'm so passionate about animals. I got one from a village. They catch one for me. And that's where the interest comes. So I was having one. I raised that one alone for more than 2 years. That's what I was able to buy another extra tool, a male and female. And that's the journey of the whole service. That started as far back 2000. So in year 2000, the first liter started as far back June. In June 2000, with that two animals, and they were able to give birth 5 and 4. So out of that, I was able to get nine, including the 3 parent stock. And so it was so interesting. And out of that, so far what the Lord has done.
A lot.
So meaning I started with only God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Okay. Okay, the Trinity.
The Trinity.
Okay.
It has not been so easy, I must say, because the passion was there.
Yeah.
When I started, it has been so challenging because there's no help, and then the passion is there. Sometimes I don't have any farm input, like I have to carry the grass from afar, the farm. But I started at so many years later. I moved to Pom. I started at one animal, and later I moved to Pom, year 2000, with the help of my brother who was a sawmiller. And I was able to be patient enough, and I was able to. When I started, I was not having a cage. I built something like a wooden cage from the ground, and I raised them there. All the males and the female were together, and so when they gave birth, later I could realize that the males, the bigger males I started with, was fighting the younger ones. So quickly, I have to find a ways of even constructing a wooden cage with a wire mesh. Though I'm not a carpenter, I must say, but God has been so merciful to me. I was able to come up with a nice idea. I was able to put up a nice structure that will be able to house the animals. And then as the time goes, they are multiplying.
Okay, all right. But then, okay. So there are so many other ventures you could have gone into. Why did you choose grass cutter?
Well, I just love animals. So the grass cutter, when I was in the JHS, I have to go to a certain woman, though they are no more alive. She was having the animals. So when I go, I will stay there for a longer period and have a look at the animals. By that time, the money involved was 5 pesos, that's 50 pesos. I could not raise after 50 pesos to buy the animals. Though I have the passion, there's no any support from any elsewhere. When I go, I have to look at the animals. Before 97, all this while I've been going there, but there was no money to be able to raise 50 pesos to buy the animal. And so God have a purpose for everything that He does, and so I'm grateful to Him.
Okay. All right. So, what are some of the breeds you have on your farm, and
Current,
which ones are popular in Ghana?
the popular ones are the normal color, the black ones. That's the normal color that when you go to every farm you may see. But currently, even though we have ash, we have golden ash, we have golden brown, we have white, and then the normal color.
Which is the normal
The
color?
normal color is the ones you introduce
Ah, okay.
in the introduction.
Mm.
That's the normal color that you may see it in every farm. And then before the white, all these ones that we're talking about, the golden brown, the eyes with the Brazilian hair, are all in the bush, but they are not so popular. It's hardly for you to see. But for the normal color, they don't cost much as the golden brown, the golden ash, and then the white. That ones are very expensive.
Okay. What are some of the conditions that I should look out for if I want to breed grasscutter at home?
Well, what you have to see is that you get a nice space. If you rented the house, maybe the owner of the house or the landlord may agree for you to have a place to. He may give you a place to even rear grass cutter. But sometimes when you are doing it in large scales and then they are continue to multiply, people do comes to the house and then purchase the animal. If care is not taken, the landlord may decide, no, I'm coming to you that place for some building whereby you feel uncomfortable, but that place will be taken from you. So by I urge that anybody who want to go into grass cutter farming should look for his own place, because when you started at a nice place, the sorry.
Please put your phone on silent so that.
So when you have a nice idea of even doing something like grass cutter farm, though it's very good, but you need to get your own land, your own place, so that there will not be any disturbance of even moving the animal, so that you will lose the courage, you lose the interest. Because I quite remember when I started, the owner of the house, the land, told me I should move the animals, and I have no place to move them. And so, fortunately, a certain woman whom I have rented gave me a certain portion to take care of them. In the course of the production, the man was not happy about the whole situation. I have to ask to tell me to move the animals. Hey, it has not been so easy. So quickly, by the grace of God, with the help of my wife, we were able to get this land, though it does not belong to me, it belongs to my dad. And so, even though the land belongs to my dad, I'm the firstborn. So I have quickly given an idea to my wife that if possible, if God willing, let us come and put up some building here on this land. And by grace, we're able to, out of the sales of the animals and then the help of my wife, we're able to put up that building here. You get it? Before, and then with this thing that I'm going through, the terms, because the place that not belong to you, they are not well fenced. When you wake up in the morning, you see some thieves coming to steal some of the animals and breaking up the fence and then all that, until we move in here, before everything is now secure.
Okay, so what of the weather conditions?
It is okay.
No, so what are some of the weather conditions that I should look out for if I want to start grass cutter?
Now, I must say that weather does not destroy or even kill an animal, the grass cutters. All depends on feeding. When they are not well fed, like the weather is very cold at the moment, you may say, oh, when the weather is cold, let me cover them. It is not advisable. The only best thing that you can do is that feed them well with a nice type of grass. And
Okay.
you
So
are
what are
okay.
the types of grass that you give to your
We have
grass cutters?
guinea grass, elephant grass, corn steak, and then probably corn. But we have them a lot of time. We are talking about guinea grass. But guinea grass does not mean that all guinea grass are the best type of grass cutters. Some they don't like it. Some they may not like it. But because they have no choice, whatever you bring in there, they will take it to survive. And it will also not help the business. And so when you want to go into grass cutter farming, you look for some people who are experienced, who have been into the business for a longer period, so that they give you the ideas. the type, they will go to the farm with you and show you the type of grass they like and some type that they don't like. And if you go by it, and then it will be okay by you.
Okay, so you mentioned one critical component to be feeding. What times do you feed the grass cutters?
I feed them twice a day.
Okay, so what times?
So that's early dawn, around 4 a.m.
Oh.
You have to wake up and then remove the leftover. You put in a new grass. And so if there's corn available, you have a corn stick available all the time. What you have to do is that you give them the corn stick in the evening around 4 p.m. and then you give them the grass early dawn. If you do that, it will help the animals to grow very nice. As you could see, the other ones, it's only just 3 years. And then the down one is also 3.5 years. But when they are not well fed, for that one, you may have them very tiny.
Okay. All right. So now let's look at some of the the gestational period. How long does it take for the grass cutter to be ready for table?
The one that will be ready for table at least 1.5 years and above. From 1.5 years and above, they'll be ready. It depends on you, the farmer, if they are well fed and they are fed on time. You see, there should be grass in the cage at all times. Whenever the animals is ready, it eats, it sleep. It eats, it sleep, and then you have them looking very nice.
Okay. So how many times can you cross a female grass cutter?
Female is twice in every year.
And how long does it take for them to put to bed?
5 months. When they are crossed, it takes them 5 solid months before they. It doesn't mean that as soon as you cross the animal, probably it will give birth. That can fail. So when you cross it, you wait at least 1.5 to 2 months. You'll be observing the animal. You'll be raising the tail and be checking where the use this word. You'll be checking where from the anus to the vagina area. When that place is open, then meaning possibility of not receiving a pregnancy is high.
Very high. All right. And then how many do they give birth to at a time?
Twice a year.
No,
But
so how many?
For that one is nature. From
Okay.
1 up to 10 or 12.
Oh, wow.
It's nature. So you can see the animal with a very big tummy, but yes, it can give birth to
one. Okay. All right. And now let's look at some of the challenges with this industry. What are some of the challenges that you've encountered, or some of the challenges that you know other farmers encounter in this industry?
The only challenge I know a lot of farmers are encountering is that getting the grass for the animal is the challenge. It's the only challenge. Because sometimes during this time of farming season, a lot of people will be spraying the land and then will be weeding, and so meaning you have to go far
to get grass.
But if you have your own land whereby you decide, okay, let me use this land for the purpose of the animal, then meaning you have to grow the grass yourself.
Okay, all right. And then now let's look at some of the diseases that affect grass cutter. What are some of the common ones?
There is no any common diseases that affect this animal.
Oh
Yes. Reason being that you see, when you are cutting the grass and you don't cut it on time, you cut it anyhow you like. That's where you'll be getting a lot of problems. You see, you don't cut grass early in the morning. You wait till around 9 o'clock, 9:30. By that time, there is a lot of sun that have showers on the grass, and then when you cut, it doesn't cause any effect on the animal. A lot of insects, some are like a saliva. They are very small, and so when you don't cut the grass, you cut grass early in the morning. That worm that is on the grass, maybe the animal may even chew it, and when any animal that chew that insect may even die in the process. And sometimes there's another one like a snail. It doesn't have a shell and it's flat. It's very poisonous. So when you see it on the grass and you decide, it will not cause any problem, and you give it to them, they may even chew it and die. And then one problem that is also one of the challenges that cause time of delivery. During the time of delivery, you may even lose the mother. It's very common. That one, we are finding a means or in ways that we can also
Maybe veterinary services.
sometimes when they come in, they don't even know much how to even before you get to know that the animal delivery system is getting a problem. Before you get to realize it's dead.
It's dead.
It's dead.
Oh, okay. All
But
right.
no diseases. We don't have any specific disease that's caused death.
Okay. All right. So now let's look at some of the value additions.
I
So,
must say, to be honest with you, Grasscutter Farm is the best
hmm,
compared to piggery because one, you don't cut grass, you don't buy grass. We cut it for free. Or like this corn stick, for instance, if you have a farmer, let me say, there's a friend farmer who have this larger size of maize farm. You just buy some bread and give it to the owner. You cut and go.
okay. So now let's look at the market when it comes to grass cutter industry. You know, people want to venture into agriculture, but they want to ensure that when they venture, at least there are people who are interested in their produce. So is there a market for this industry?
Honestly, it's very lucrative and there's a lot of market for it. Reason being that I've been into this grass cutter farming for almost more than 20
20
years.
years.
And still, I mean, if not for that one, we'll talk of after the end of the program. I'll tell you that the reason why you could not see a larger number of animals I have in a farm. You see, if I have a lot of animals in this farm, I must say every month I'll be able to sell more than 100, and still the market is still there. There's a lot of people who are looking for a grass cutter to buy for a meals. Like every 2 weeks, 50 of them.
Wow.
It's not a small thing, but still we don't have it. So if you are assuming 10 of us are even having more than 200 grass cutters, yes, we cannot be able to supply a meal to those who restaurants and then hotels and all that. But the market is there. A lot of people come from Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, even ordered for young ones. Yes, so sometimes when they cause us to give them the number of animals, we don't still get it.
Why?
Because the animals are not there. We don't have them in a large quantity. When you go to Nigeria, they have a lot.
But why don't we have?
Because people find it so lazy. If you are lazy, you can't rear grass cutter. So those who are brave and courageous will be able to take the advantage.
Oh, okay.
So if a lot of people, both men and women, decide, okay, let's come together and then move forward, and then do this grass cutter farming to enable us forge ahead and then do something
meet the
great,
market's
meet the market
demand.
standard, we'll be able to do that.
Okay, all right. So now let's look at the pricing component. So when it comes to grass cutter, how are the pricing dynamics?
The pricing is that the younger ones are, let me say, they are very expensive even compared to the
Oh,
bigger
really?
ones. Yes, because if a young grass cutter is costing, the normal color is costing about 200 cedis and above, then you just compare it to the matured ones that are about 500 cedis and above. You get it. And then the younger ones I'm talking about that is 200 cedis and above is only 2 months size, 2 months old. So the bigger ones that cost about more than 500 cedis above is 2 years and above. So you just have a look at that side. So it's the profits comes out from the younger ones instead of the bigger ones.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So now let's look at some of the issues with this industry. You've mentioned one as not being able to meet the market demand. So there's room for other people to venture into this.
Yes.
And yes, there's also it's profitable. So what are some of the other issues when it comes to grass cutter farming?
Well, what the issue that what comes into the grass cutter farming is that it's only the cost of the construction of the cages. That's the only challenge. It's very expensive. So if you don't have any somebody else to support you in constructing the cages, that's where the problem is. But if so far as you may have any support from any else, whether brother or sister, then let me put in something into this young man or something. Then out of that, you'll be able to expand. So me, for instance, by grace, I construct all these cages myself. So it doesn't cost much. It's only the material that I do buy and construct the cages. I do construct for others farm also. And so anybody like who is interested can even come to us, this farm, and then place the order for the cage to be constructed.
Okay, all right. Now, what advice do you have for individuals who might be interested in venturing into Grasscutter but don't know how to even go about it?
Maybe you may not have enough of fund. You have just a small fund to invest into this farm. I must say, don't relax. Don't let anybody discourage you. Just a small amount, you can start something. Because if I have to look at myself, because some time ago when I was even about to put up this building, as you could see there, I went to a certain man that was year 2007 to give me a fund of about 2,000 cedis. That he could not. He was afraid that maybe I may not be able to pay. By his grace, we could not take the money. Gradual process out of this. You just have a look at the cost of building these days. And out of this, I was able to put out that thing. It's by grace. So we may have it small, we can even start small, and if that by grace, you will surely get to the top.
Okay, so if I want to start a Grasscutter farm, how much money should I have?
At least if you are able to get about even probably 2,000 cities, you can start.
You can start.
You can start at least having a small cage and then the animals.
The animals, okay, all right.
These are the white ones. These ones alone can cost 400 cedis. But an ash ones like this is 250 to 300 cedis. They follow. And then we have a golden ash. We have this type. Let me show you some of the golden ash. This the golden eye. Look at your eye. Oh. Hey. Okay. I've not been catching it. That's the reason. The golden ash have a white eye. No, they're like a gold eye. Why this normal ash have a black eye?
Oh, okay. All right.